Convicted felon Donald Trump just implemented Phase 3 of Project 2025. Get your copy of Red Hats, a pocket guidebook listing over 1,000 companies that support the convicted felon Donald Trump, along with Make Lying Wrong Again pins, hats, and stickers at ProfessorPride.com. Last year, MAGA supporters said Trump knew nothing about Project 2025, a 920-page manifesto written by Trump's inner circle to get him back in the White House and to dismantle our country. Immediately after he was re-elected, Trump supporters said they knew Trump was the architect of Project 2025, and they voted in favor of it anyway. But while we've been distracted with the Epstein files, hopefully being released soon, of which Trump is accused of giving oral to President Bill Clinton, and MAGA fans are insisting that he gave oral to a horse named Bubba instead, because somehow Trump giving a blow to a horse is better than him giving one to a man? At least their homophobia is consistent, though. But this week, Trump's Department of Education reclassified what it would consider a professional college degree. The Department of Education distributes student loans to people across the country, and it sets a limit on how much you can borrow based upon what that degree is. The higher the amount you can borrow means the more in demand that position is in our country. That's why nurses and educators are allowed to borrow so much, because it incentivized people to go into those fields without worrying about being born in poverty and not having a family who could afford sending them to college to earn that degree. But that old list of roughly 2,000 college degrees that Trump's Department of Education would give a loan to has now shrunk to fewer than 600 career fields. Just for the record, I have a college degree in video production, a minor in marketing, and tons of coursework on journalism. And I got my college loan from Nelnet, a program under this federal loan program. But we still need journalists, so I consider it a professional degree to have. You would also assume careers in healthcare, education, and technology would be professional too, right? Well, now you're wrong. Trump's Department of Education will no longer offer the same college loans to people wanting to be any of the following positions: Master of Science in Nursing, Doctor of Nursing Practice, Nurse Practitioner, Nurse, Midwife, Certified Registered Nurse or CRN, Physician's Assistant or PA, Occupational and Physical Therapist, Counseling and Therapy Fields, Master of Public Health, Doctor of Public Health, Health Administration, any degree in education, social work including Bachelor of Social Work and Master of Social Work, IT, cybersecurity and engineering, any degree in business including an MBA or accounting degree, arts and architecture, audiology, speech-language pathology, and more. For the record, there's a significant shortage of staffing already in many of those fields due to an aging workforce, burnout, and more, not to mention the stress from this administration allowing a conspiracy theorist to become Secretary of Health and spread misinformation of what causes autism while he goes swimming in raw sewage with his family. By the way, I'm not kidding with that one. The guy overseeing our country's FDA, or Food and Drug Administration, and would be in charge if there was another pandemic, regularly goes swimming in raw sewage. All of the healthcare fields he just cut funding to are also what are called mandated reporters, so there would be less people legally obligated to report child abuse in the future. These fields are mostly employed by women, but why would someone like Trump, who has been accused of children and thanks to newly uncovered documents knew of Jeffrey Epstein doing the same, why would he want less people reporting child abuse to authorities? It makes no sense, he said sarcastically. Others like social work he is targeting at a time when more people than ever need mental health care because of the stress Trump is putting on us politically, physically, financially, and emotionally. Those in cybersecurity are desperately needed as data centers are taking over millions of acres of land across our country, as other countries literally hacked our elections in the past to get Trump elected in the first place, and there have been several major system-wide failures and outages at industry-controlling companies like Cloudflare, Amazon, Meta, and cybersecurity concerns at Google. But just so we're all clear, all of this was mentioned in Project 2025. Even liberals kept telling me Donald Trump said he knew nothing about this plan, that his entire team wrote for him. Trump supporters and even liberals who believed him at the time kept telling us Trump would never have anything to do with this plan. Then when Russell Vought, who was Trump's closest staff member at the time, was caught on tape saying Project 2025 was the only reason Trump left the White House in 2021, even some liberals didn't believe it. See, back in 2021, Vought was the last person to meet with Trump in the Oval Office, where he promised him that he would write a plan, called Project 2025, to get Trump back into the White House and get his revenge on America for voting against him. Yes, you heard that right. The only reason Trump actually walked out of the White House on January 20th, 2021, giving it to Biden, was because he was just promised revenge against America. So finally, Trump left the White House and his team went to work writing Project 2025. Well, now that he's reelected and Trump's fans admitted all along that they knew this was his plan and they voted in favor of it, turns out that plan's doing a pretty good job destroying our country, just as Vought promised Trump it would do. For the record, we're only 11 months into his 4-year term, and Project 2025 is already 48% completed at the time of this recording. The remaining parts of the plan entail abolishing Congress in the legislative branch and the judicial branches to give absolute power to Donald Trump so he can assume the role of dictator and king long past his 4 years. As a failsafe written in Project 2025, they have a plan to allow Donald Trump to be impeached, whether that's because of these actions or, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but the now non-zero chance that Donald Trump gave a to a horse and Congress takes actions on that, it would mean J.D. Vance takes over, and you might take comfort in that until you realize J.D. Vance was personally chosen by Russell Vought, because J.D. Vance believes even more heavily in Project 2025 than Trump does. So we are far from out of the woods on this one, and those in positions to help in healthcare, engineering, technology, and business have all just got their funding cut in half. But rest assured, when all of this broke yesterday that funding was being cut from major industries across the country, Donald Trump called it fake news. So, turns out we're worried for nothing and we're all going to be just fine. Get everything you need to protest the felon-in-chief at ProfessorPride.com. Don't forget to like this video, smash that subscribe button, and click on this video to continue enjoying our show.